Now we turn to the ongoing fight right here in this country for police reform. Authorities in South Carolina have released new footage showing the final moments of Jamal Sutherland, a black man who died in custody at the Charleston County Jail in January. Sutherland died after being pepper sprayed and tased multiple times by officers. He was being held on misdemeanor assault charges after a fight broke out at the mental health facility where he was staying. He reportedly suffered from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Sutherland had been at the jail for about 14 hours when officers entered his cell to take him to a bond hearing. He resisted, and that's when officers began trying to subdue him with pepper spray and stun guns. You're about to see video of the moment officers entered his cell and began to restrain him, and a warning that it is very disturbing. Joining me now is Brittany Packnett-Cunningham, MSNBC contributor and founder of Love and Power Works, Lynn Nguyen, executive director of Run API, and Giassi Ross, attorney, former public defender, and co-host of the Break Dances with Wolves podcast. That footage, I have to tell you guys, is unwatchable. I mean, we could only show a few seconds of what happened. But Brittany, I will ask you, can policing be reformed?
In short, Tiffany, no. You can't reform a system that was created to protect some people and to protect those people supposedly from the rest of us. A system that was created to control can't actually be changed. It can only be replaced with a true vision for public safety. Look, like you said, Jamal Sutherland was mentally disabled. Nearly half the people killed by police every single year have a disability. We know in North Carolina, the video of Andrew Brown Jr. now shows that he was executed, unlike what the police had previously said. And people are still justifying the murder of young Ma'Khia Bryant, even though she was reportedly defending herself. So, Tiffany, at some point, we have to strip away the veneer and recognize this was never about serving and protecting us. It was about serving and protecting certain people and certain groups and classes from the rest of us. And when you see police and prisons like this, you see them as the line between your neighborhood and black and brown neighborhoods. And when you see it that way, you'll accept certain acceptable losses, like Daniel Shaver and the officer who killed him, a white man in Mesa, Arizona, being acquitted. Right. You'll accept people going after the Capitol Police on January the 6th. None of these things should be acceptable in a democracy, and yet here we are. If the state can pick and choose who lives and dies, that is not a system that can be reformed.
Yeah, Giassi, I want you to take a listen to Congressman Jim Clyburn and comments that he made this week on qualified immunity. Take a listen.
I know what the perfect bill will be. We have proposed that. I want to see good legislation, and I know that sometimes you have to compromise. If you don't get qualified immunity now, then we'll come back and try to get it later. But I don't want to see us throw out a good bill because we can't get a perfect bill.
So he's saying don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Maybe he can live without qualified immunity, but I think the question that so many people have is, can we? What do you say, Giassi?
I think that, unfortunately, Brittany kind of laid the broad picture very, very eloquently, and that's exactly right. This system is untenable, and we're going to continue to see these casualties happen in a very, very systematic, very, very consistent and predictable way. And unfortunately, in this country, things work in a really incremental way, particularly legislatively. So those casualties are going to simply continue to happen. And we can continue to expect more of these videos of brown and black folks being executed by law enforcement, more of these instances. We can also expect to see the response, the very, very appropriate and reasonable response of ordinary people who are threatened by this constant oppression and this constant threat of physical violence and death at the hands of law enforcement. So this give and take, this back and forth is going to continue to happen until there's more than incremental change. But unfortunately, the way our capitalism, the way our system is set up, that is what we're going to continue to get, is these little crumbs on the table that will encourage and indeed will require these casualties of brown and black lives.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.